Macross has arrived in Union Arena, but is this old school anime strong enough to deal with all of the new ones coming out? Well, let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Mobby here, and today I'm going to be giving you my personal deck profile for this blue Macross deck that revolves around the songstresses. Make sure to like and subscribe, it really helps out the channel. I upload daily duels and deck profiles for different anime TCGs. Alright guys, here we go. Today, once again, Macross Blue. It's going to revolve around a raid card Alto as well as supporting cards, Ranka and Sheryl. Now, if you guys just want the deck list, I recommend pausing the video, heading on over to my website, mobbytcg.com, where I upload all of the deck profiles for everything we cover on the channel. Lots of One Piece, Union Arena, and Dragon Ball Super Fusion World, and more. Alright, so this is a video breakdown showing every single card. This is the action point that I'm using, which covers Ranka and Sheryl. Alright, let's talk about all the cards. So, interestingly enough, in this deck, you are using only 8 0 costs, and we will get to that once we reach the 2 costs. There's a certain reason for that. Okay, so the first card here is going to be Alto, Saotome. So Alto is going to be our only raid card of the deck, but there's 2 raid cards, so they're going to see a lot of Alto in this deck. This is a 0 cost basic 1500, getting this to your hand if you get it off a trigger, so 4 of these. The next 4 we're going to be running is Clang. So 0 cost on play, look at the top card of your deck, you put it to the top or bottom. You really want to use this ability in order to get everything you need. If you're going first, you don't have a second turn, hopefully you can play this and help you sift through some things. If you have all your turns set up, look for some good raid cards, etc. The trigger here is Active 3000, which is a very powerful ability, and it has 1500. Now moving over to our 1 cost, we have yet another Alto. This is going to be your 4 colors of the deck. So on play, you're going to look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You grab 1 Sheryl, or a Ranka, or the SMS card, where in this deck, it's going to be mostly Altos and his raid sources. Then you place the rest to the bottom. If you grab the card, you have to trash one. In this deck, you don't really get benefits from trashing a card, so make sure you know which one you're going to be trashing. The trigger here, the color, choose one of your opponent's 3500 or less front lines and bounce it back to their hand. Pretty good ability. Now moving over to our 2 costs. This is the reason why we're running so usually low amounts of 0 costs here. So Ranka Lee, if there are no cards in your area, reduce the energy of this card by 2. Now, when they mean by area, it means literally everything on the board, front line or energy line. If this is your first turn and you have nothing there, this is a 0, which is very good. So yeah, you have a lot of cards. You have pretty much 8 cards of these types that you can find early game as well to start you with these. So on play, if there's a character with Alto in its name, which there's a ton of them, on your front line, that is, choose up to one of your opponent's front lines with 2500 or less, it gets negative 2000. So you can't use this card to straight out KO anything, but it's good if your opponent really wants to block that turn, but hey, you lowered somebody, so they might have to take a hit on that character. So I'm running 3 of these, not 4. 3 of these Rankas, and now 3 of these Sheryls, which is kind of the same thing that Ranka does. If there are no cards in your area, reduce the cost by 2, making it a 0 cost, so you can play it on turn 1. On play, if there is an Alto in your front line, look at the top 2, place any of them back on top in any order, and the rest on the bottom. So if you find anything if you see both cards you like, put them both on top in any order. If you find 1 card that you like, place 1 on top, the rest on the bottom. And of course, if you don't like any, put them both on bottom. And that's how this card works. So these cards are great, really good for playing early. They're not even that bad if you want to, like, you know, if you have a bunch of 0 costs, you can throw this on the front for 2500 attacking. And then later, yeah, it's pretty good, except no trigger, so that's the really bad part about these ones. But a lot of the cards in your deck require Sheryl and Ranka in your backline, so just keep that in mind going forward. Now we have our 2 cost Altos. If there is a Sheryl in your area, this, meaning frontline or backline, energy line, this character gains impact negates. Then on play, if there's a Ranka, I see these 2 cards right here, draw 1 and trash 1, 3000 power, very good, and a trigger of drawing a card. So everything is working towards your 3 to 4 cost, which is the highest in here. So There is a lot of power struggling going on here. Just 3 and 4 costs. All right. This is an SR Ranka Lee. So it has 2 energy, which is very good, which means you want to stay this in the backline, hopefully the whole game. Main rest this card once per turn, meaning you can't use it on the turn that you throw this out. Then you choose one of the following effects. However, you cannot choose the same effect that another Ranka Lee card has chosen this turn, meaning, like I said, in the backline, you mostly want more than one in the back. So if you choose the first one here, you have to choose the second one with the second one or nothing. All right, so if there is a character with Alto on your front line, choose that a character is 1500, gets 1500 or more, negative 1000. Not bad, you know, when you want to swing over some 1400s. Or the second one, choose an Alto in its name. It gains when this card attacks and it wins a battle, draw up to 1 card. Very good. So if your opponent wants to protect life by blocking, you're going to draw an extra card off of that. Gives you more options and stuff. The trigger here is drawing a card, and once again, 2 energy, very good. Usually it's going to stay in the backline the whole game. Your second card that you hope is going to be in the backline the whole game as well is going to be this 3-cost Sheryl Gnome. And you can see here, both of them are supposed to be like, look at that. Look how cool that art looks together. Oh, it's awesome. All right, so main rest this card. Choose one, just like this one. If you have more than one in the back, this same one cannot choose the same top one. They both have to choose different ones. If you have more than 2, then unfortunately the third one's just going to be an energy. So choose one Alto with choose one Alto on the front line. It gets 1000. Not bad. The second one is choose another Alto. It gains when this character attacks. And unfortunately, the translation doesn't have it on here. When this character attacks and it is not blocked, draw 1 card. So potentially, you're going to be able to activate the bottom ones of both of them, where if he wins a battle, draw, and if they don't block, draw. So pretty cool. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are your best cards for energy gain. You want these in the back. This is your win condition. Both these characters support Alto in the front line. Pretty simple, right? Now for your 4 your 4 finals of the deck. This is Lion. So this is also a song Sheryl and a song for Ranka for stuff in another, usually in other decks, right? So event, choose up to 2 of your AP cards and set them to active. If this is the final card during a trigger, you get to heal 1. It's featuring both characters on there. Now for your late game, and this is all 4 costs. These, because this deck goes very low in energy, you want to go here as quick as possible. So check this one out first. This one's not an Alto, but a supporting card for your late game. 4 costs with 2 actions. VF 25G Messiah Michael Blanc. So remember, this is an SMS card, so this is actually searchable by the 1 cost Alto. This character is played in active. On play, you can go ahead and trash 1 card. If you did, this character gains. It can attack from the energy line and sniper this turn. Very strong, very, very versatile. Now, as I mentioned, you primarily want both these ladies in the backline, so you might not want to play this in the backline if it's full, especially if your front line's full. So you have to decide whether or not you want this as a blocker for next turn. If you don't care this gets hit next turn, because you can still trash a card to gain snipe. It says it can attack from the energy line, so if you end up putting them on the front line, you can still get the second benefit, which is and sniper. Sniper in a Union Arena, very powerful. You get a strong character on the board, and you usually get to knock somebody out, even if it's another 4000, so another raid card. The trigger here is add this to your hand, so very cool card. If you do end up putting it in the back line, that's going to be a 1 energy, which isn't really that good, because remember, the highest tier is a 4 cost. So yeah, this is a very good supporting card. However, you want these ones, you want these Altos here. So 4 costs, 1 action, VF 25F Messiah Alto, SMS searchable, and it counts as Alto for all of your Ranka cards. Rate on Alto only. And if you want to count how many Altos we have run into so far, there are these ones here. You have 4 of these Altos. You're gonna have 4 of these 1 cost Altos, and you're gonna have 4 of these. So 4, 8, 12 Altos for 8 raid cards. Your turn. If there's a Sheryl or Ranka in your area, front or back, this character gains 1000 only during your turn, so you'll be a 5000 attacker. The other effect here is if there is a Sheryl and Ranka, meaning both of them, this character gains impact. Very good in Union Arena, and of course the on play is just draw a card. The raid here is add this to your hand or raid if you can. You always want to have 4 energy in the back, because you might be able to just randomly raid on an Alto, especially because there's 8 in the deck. So it's a pretty strong card. Best case scenario, you're always going to have Ranka and Sheryl in the back. Now for your other Alto here. VF25 Messiah, Alto Saotome, SMS as well. Rate on Alto. So on play, choose up to one of the following effects, but you can pay AP to choose 2 effects. So the effect 1 requires Sheryl. The second one requires Ranka. Once again, pay AP to activate both on the turn that you play this card, you raid with it. If there is a Sheryl in your area, this gives double attack for 1 turn, 4,000 double attack, not bad. If there's a Ranka, choose up to one of your characters frontline with 3,000 or less and retire it. So unfortunately, Ranka doesn't do much if your opponent straight comes out with a bunch of 4,000 characters, but it combos really well if you remember the other Ranka. Both of her abilities are you can give somebody negative 1,000, so it kind of works. So as long as you just play in the correct order, you're going to have the benefits of these Altos and your backline cards. The final card of the deck is your 4 specials. This is called Triangular. This is a 2 action. If there is a character with Alto in his name, you can reduce the AP by 1. So once again, your main attacker is going to be Alto, so hopefully you have one when you play this. All right, you get to choose one character on your opponent's front line with 4,000 BP and retire it. Then choose one of the following effects. If there's a Sheryl in your area, it's 5,000 BP or less. If there is a Ranka, look at the top card of your deck, place it to the top or bottom. So this is a KOing card with some restrictions, but it has a benefit of sifting. So that is going to be it for the deck, guys. As you can see, it's a very simple deck. It's very easy to understand. Ranka, Sheryl, backline, frontline, Alto, and then you have that extra Michael Blanc to put in the front or backline. Lots of good stuff here. It runs very low, so it's an easy deck to quickly go. All right, so once again, your specials for destroying and sifting, your Altos for late game with benefits of Ranka and Sheryl in the back. Even if you have one Sheryl and one Ranka, you're good to go for the most part. Then you have these Michaels, which is 2 AP, but dang, that snipe is insane. Then you got your 4 finals, which do your basic stuff here. Yeah, these Sheryls, backline forever. Ranka, backline forever with support. These level 2 Altos to get a small benefit, mostly here for early game attacking and being rated on. Then the Sheryls to help you with your low amount of 0 costs, as well as getting a benefit when Alto's on the field. Same thing with the Ranka. Then you have these other Altos for searching in your 1 cost. Then you have these 0 cost Klon Kangs to help you sift through some stuff, and the active's pretty good. And finally, the last Alto here, which is probably going to be your best case for a raid source. So that is it, guys. This Macross deck is pretty cool, pretty balanced. I like how it runs really low, and I think it's going to be a pretty good deck, nice and easy to come across. So thank you so much for watching, and remember, if you want to see any deck that we put on the channel, link in the description to the playlist, or just head on over here to see all of the list on top of my website. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.